Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, leave a like, and leave a comment if you enjoyed our commentary for this chapter. The story starts with a knight saying, "You've caused quite the troublesome situation." The story then takes us back to the moments before the fight. On a boat, a group of ladies is seen picking on a noblewoman. But honestly, it smells so vulgar. It really is so smelly that my nose is about to curl. She steps forward and calmly tells them that there seems to be a misunderstanding. She pulls out an invitation, explaining that she was formally invited to board the ship. However, the ladies tell her that it doesn't matter, and that it doesn't change the fact that she is out of place. One girl tells her that just because she has entered high society, she shouldn't get carried away. Another woman asks, "Until now, the Marquis has never allowed any woman to get close to him. How on earth did you manage to win his favor?" They continue to slander her, calling her a whore and warning her to stay away from the Marquis. The woman then snaps, "You're not a noble. You are no better than a commoner." They even try to push her off the ship while ripping her invitation to pieces, forcing her to jump off. She finally speaks up, questioning their foolishness. Turning to the main bully, she points out, "You are wearing quite an eye-catching necklace." The woman proudly responds that her necklace is worth a staggering $3 million. She immediately fires back, saying that if she can easily afford such a cheap necklace, then she is more than qualified to board the ship. She goes even further by exposing the bully, revealing that the gemstone in her necklace isn't even a real ruby. As the bully's friends look on in surprise and try to defend her, she explains that the stone is actually red spinel. While it closely resembles a ruby, it is far less valuable, making the bully's prized necklace a complete fraud. Having completely turned the tables, she looks directly at her bully and tells her to jump off instead if she can't even recognize a real ruby. She mockingly adds, "If you ever need someone to help you authenticate your jewelry, I'd be more than willing to assist." The tables completely turn as the people on board begin staring and whispering about the embarrassed woman. Unable to bear the humiliation, the bully storms off in embarrassment. As she leaves, she silently vows that she will never lose to another noble again. The story then takes us back 12 years into the past. At just 6 years old, Claire lived as a slave under a cruel and abusive master who constantly shouted at her inside the house, completely ignoring Claire's pleas that a maid had explicitly asked her to come inside. The master demands that all the servants gather inside. He snaps at Claire to be quiet, coldly reminding her that she isn't a servant, but a slave. He tells her that he bought her for a mere handful of gold and that she ranks below livestock. Devastated, Claire apologizes and runs outside, bursting into tears. As she weeps, she laments how she is beaten every single day, her entire body aching with pain. She wonders if this is simply her fate for being a worthless slave. She constantly tells herself that she needs to escape one day, yet she knows all too well that if she tries and gets caught, she will be beaten to death. As she cries out for help, a mysterious creature suddenly appears right in front of her. Confused and unsure of what to call it, she realizes she is looking at a unique bird. Instead of attacking her, the creature gently lies down beside her in a comforting manner. She gently tells the bird, "Even though you are hurt as well, you are so kind to me." To her, this creature was the only being who had ever shown her an ounce of kindness. Hope had finally arrived in her life, a true escape from her terrible, abusive reality. She decided to name the creature Stella. When the day of departure finally arrived, she was overjoyed as she gazed out at the vast, beautiful ocean. She thought to herself, "I want to show this to Stella." Suddenly, she thought she heard Stella calling out to her. She immediately ran in that direction, but found nothing there. Shrugging it off, she promised herself, "When I return from this journey, I'll tell Stella all about the sea." But her thoughts were abruptly interrupted when a man suddenly shouted, warning everyone on board that there was a monster up ahead and it was rapidly closing in. Claire immediately headed toward her master. Meanwhile, her master had ordered everyone on board to search for her, believing she had escaped. Naively thinking, "Are they actually worried about me?" she stepped forward and announced, "I'm here." Her master turned around with a sinister smile. "Thank God," he sneered. "We've found the prey." Claire froze in confusion. Prey? He coldly explained that in order to save themselves, she was going to become the monster's bait. "You're lucky," he said. "The time has finally come for you to be useful." Terrified, Claire begged him to reconsider, promising she would do absolutely anything he asked. "Please, help me. I don't want to die." But her master turned a blind eye. He made it clear that he didn't care about the life of a slave before brutally throwing her overboard. "At least die peacefully," they told her. Claire plunged into the water, sinking deeper and deeper, unable to swim. She kept sinking. As she slowly lost her breath, she wondered if this was truly the end. With the last of her strength, she cried out in her heart, "Someone, please help me." Suddenly, she opened her eyes and saw Stella rushing toward her. Stella desperately tried to pull Claire out of the water before the monster could return. Finally, Stella managed to save her, but both of them lost consciousness and drifted away. Claire softly whispered, "Thank you for saving me. I love you, Stella." After regaining consciousness, Claire woke up inside an enclosed room. She noticed a figure standing quietly in the corner. "Is anyone there? Where is Stella?" were the first thoughts that crossed her mind. Startled, she quickly sat up. "Pirates!" The man looked at her and said, "You're finally awake, kid." Terrified, Claire wondered, "Am I going to be killed?" Believing she had been captured by pirates, she thought, "If I don't obey them, they'll kill me. I have to escape." Then she noticed something through the window. "Wait, is this the sea? I'm on a ship." Immediately, she began worrying about Stella. She asked the man, "Was there a bird next to me?" "A bird?" he replied. "Yes, about this big," she said, gesturing with her hands. "It had dark wings, 4 legs, and it was very friendly." The man shook his head. "What a naive kid. That's not a bird. It's a monster known as a Griffin." Claire was shocked. "A monster? The one that attacks people?" "That's right," he answered. "A monster." Claire couldn't understand it. If Stella was a monster, then why did she try so hard to save me? The man continued, "Look on the bright side. At least there isn't a monster around anymore. Those things see humans as food." Claire immediately shouted, No, Stella would never do that. She insisted that Stella had saved her life. It has to still be on that island. She hurried out of bed. I have to go find it. Begging the pirate, she pleaded, Please, please take me back to the previous island. He looked at her in disbelief. You want to go back to save a monster? If it were an egg or something, maybe I'd consider it, he replied. But I'm not going back for a monster, youngling. Give up and accept that it's dead. Grabbing onto him, Claire desperately begged. I'll do whatever you ask. I can even be sold as a slave if you want, or used as bait whenever monsters attack. So please, just help that bird. The pirate let out a long, heavy sigh. This isn't a simple request. He looked her straight in the eyes. If you truly have the resolve, don't use half-hearted words. Don't wait for others to give you a choice. If necessary, take it for yourself. A pirate wouldn't hesitate to do that. Filled with determination, the little girl stepped forward and stood before the pirate captain. She picked up a lamp, holding its flame firmly in her hand. Then go back to that island. Otherwise, I will burn this ship. The man smiled. You've got a good look in your eyes. However, when they finally returned to the island, calling out for Stella brought no response. From that day onward, Claire was welcomed as the adopted daughter of the pirate captain, Leon the Carouel. She became a member of the pirate crew. Leaving behind her identity as a slave, Claire was taught the pirate way of life, to seize what she wanted and never allow anyone to take from her again. She made a declaration to herself that from that day forward, she would live only as a pirate and never let anyone take anything from her ever again.